I think the whole trans and sports thing is always going to be a hot topic. Now, men who want to say that they are female just to play women's sports is a hard no, because you know that there are some that would try. But why? I mean, I'm not going to say that it can't happen because this year has shown us that pretty much anything can happen. But why would a dude want to play women's sports just to dominate women's sports? I mean, what kind of cred would he get for that? I don't play sports, but when I was younger, I had a lot of friends who did. And if they tried to play on a women's league of anything, they would be laughed out of town. And if they won, all their dude bros would be like, way to go, dude. You beat all those girls at Vag Ball or whatever you were playing. Before all this men and women's sports bullshit came along, dudes did not give any fucks about women's sports whatsoever. They don't really care about women's sports now. All they really care about is getting to bash on some trans people. But using women's sports as a cover is an effective way for them to do it. See, this is a non-issue that the right wing came up with because they did not want us to focus on billionaires robbing us blind. Instead, they're like, look over there. There's a man trying to get into the women's restroom. Look over there. There's a man trying to dominate women's sports. The amount of trans people in America are less than 0.5%. And trans people in sports, way fewer than that. Nationwide, there are probably less than 100 trans people who play competitive sports. The Republicans would have us believe that there is a transgender person on every single women's sports team nationwide. And they don't even understand how damning it is to say that somebody who was born biologically male somehow has a leg up on anybody who was born biologically female. Meanwhile, they will look at flamboyantly gay men and say they are girly men and they wouldn't be good at any sport. So gay men, weak and frail, trans women, absolute specimen of raw power. And they can't even see their own hypocrisy. Now, as somebody who plays sports, I even agree that sports should be fair. But what does fairness actually look like here? Just like in, say, wrestling or boxing. Say somebody is a featherweight boxer. They're not going to put them in a ring with somebody who's like a super heavyweight. They would get annihilated. They probably could or should do the same thing in other sports. If you had a team of girls that were built like Barbie dolls and another team of girls who were built like Amazons, who do you think is going to win in the soccer or whatever contest they are in? Basketball contest. I definitely sound like somebody who knows a lot about sports, don't I? Anyway, you know what I mean, right? Like, we should have them by weight classes or strength classes or something like that. They should be allowed to participate. They should just be according to their size class or weight class or strength class. And that's what we call equity, or the E in DEI. It just means being fair, and I know this country does not like fairness at all. I mean, look at our class system in this country. Again, that's exactly what the wealthy want us to do. They want us to focus on things like trans people instead of the fact that they have all the money and we're all struggling over here. So what can we do about it? I know, let's get mad at people who are like 0% of the population for just existing. Let's focus and get mad at the people who are crossing over the border because they're trying to escape a gang or a cartel. While we are so hellbent on trying to take rights away from this 0.1% of the population, the wealthy is up there just trying to see who can become the first trillionaire. Because if somebody really wanted to, they could probably easily spend $1 million. $100 million? That would probably take a little bit of effort. $1 billion is more than most people could spend in an entire lifetime, probably a couple of generations. Now keep in mind, people like Elon and Bezos have about 200 of these. But the people in this country are not focused on this nearly as much as they are focused on this and this. You've got to start focusing on the people that are holding us down rather than the people that we can hold down to make us feel a little bit better about not being on the bottom.